Good evening, fellas. Give me 1 second. I just need to. I'm just trying to configure something. Give me a moment here. What did I want to do? I guess live, right? Yeah, then if I go here, I suppose. And then over here, right? Yeah. What's up with the quality there? Give me a second. Shit. That's not what I wanted. I wanted to do this. Yeah. And then I wanted to do this. And then I wanted to do this. All right, super. So we're going to be doing this today. Okay, great. So it works. Okay, super. All right, give me a second, fellas. Building. So I should be able now to. Beautiful. Okay. Guess we no longer need this. Give me 1 second. Let me just. So today we're going to be doing something slightly different. We're going to be building some. You're going to see in a moment. Yeah, exactly. So I did that already yesterday. I kind of off stream after work. I sat for like 3 or 4 hours. So that already works, as you can see. Now I'm going to show you how I did that, and we're going to improve it and style it and stuff like that, right? So give me just 1 second here. This is just a one stream project, so this is not a long-term thing. But yeah, it's different. It's different, yes. Okay, wait, I need to... Where do I hear myself? Over here, okay. Give me 1 second, guys. We're going to be ready in a second. Let me do this. All right. I suppose we can close that. Okay, so we can see I'm getting my chat here. Beautiful. Give me a second here. What did I want to do? Yeah. Okay, one more moment, just so I can actually... Beautiful. All right, super. Okay. So good evening, everybody. Let's wait a minute more, hopefully for more people to come. In the meanwhile, I'm gonna eat my banana. Who is here now? Yo-Yo, Spam, Dola Dev, cool. Leo, my friend. Let me just see if it's actually lagging a bit or not. It's just an app from my stream, right? So yeah, this today. So yesterday after work, I built this chat aggregator extension for Chrome. So I'm gonna teach you that, and today. But as you can see, I already managed to build the core stuff. All right, so let me first kind of tell you what we're gonna be doing today and what I did yesterday, right? Because I think it's very fun and it's gonna be open source, and I think some other people might end up using this application, right, that I've built. So as you can see, if I go here now, I'm reading chat in my own editor, and if you go to YouTube, if I go to my YouTube chat and say test, right, we should see that message here as well. And if I go to kick, which I haven't yet implemented, we're going to do that today. So, yeah. I'll show you how that works, right? It doesn't use WebSockets. No, it doesn't. A lot simpler, a lot simpler. So let me give you, I'm going to record a full YouTube video tomorrow about this, like a maybe 15-20 minute guide. But for those of you who are here now, I can guide you through. So, if I go to GitHub actually, or if I go to Paint Online, right? So let's see if I can show you that. So just so you can understand the context. So what is the problem? So the problem right now that nobody yet has solved other than this premium tool is that, you know, when you multi-stream to, obviously, let's say to YouTube, Twitch, and Kick, you want to have a single chat, right? You as a streamer, it's very hard for you to read 3 different chats. So how do you solve that problem? There are 2 ways you can solve this problem. One way is the free way, which I did, and there's a little bit more expensive way, the one that's not free. Well, there are actually 3 ways. The third way is that you buy this one existing tool that exists called Restream, right? And I suppose that most people pay for this thing literally because of this feature, right? Because I'm multi-streaming from OBS for free, so that's not the value they provide anymore uniquely, so it's the chat. So what did I do? So this is what I did. So what I did is I employed an observer on the chats that I have opened from my Chrome. So you can see I have a chat here, I have a chat here, and then I have built an extension, a Chrome extension called Chat Fusion. This project is called Call it Chat Fusion. It fuses different chats together. And then what I'm doing, I'm going to share that in a second. I have an observer. Yeah, I'm not using any API. So basically, my extension observes the changes to those lists because that's what a Chrome extension can do. And whenever something changes in this list, I send an event, right? Now, there's some challenges there, which I solved last night. That's why I also didn't stream. So let's take a look at that. So first and foremost, right? First part of this app is the actual extension. And I'm just using a small part of Chrome API, basically the content injection script. So this extension injects this script into corresponding platforms, Twitch, Kick, and YouTube, finds specific selectors, as I'm going to show you now in a second, and then attaches this observer. Basically, an observer is just an event emitter, think about it that way. I create this new mutation observer, and then I observe, so every time a new item here is added to this list, or the list on Kick, which we're going to do this stream, I didn't get to it yet, I fire an event, and then I scrape things from the HTML. That's why I need, you're not, shit, am I not sharing my screen? Ah, Jesus Christ, man. Wait, OBS is failing miserably. Give me a moment here. This automatic switcher is failing a bit. Give me a second. Frontend. Yes. And then backend. Give me 2 seconds here. Because you can see I've changed my setup a bit. So, and then what do we have? We have Chrome, right? Google Chrome. Chrome. Yes, stop. Start. Yeah, it doesn't work. Actually, you're not seeing what I'm seeing. All right, now you are. Okay. He's using the sub money stream very well. I don't spend. What do you mean sub money? All of this is. I mean, I don't. Yeah, nothing that I have on this stream is not made by me. Everything's made by me, right? Including this chat that I'm building for this stream. So okay, so if we go to the code now, let's take a look at the code. Let's take a look at the code, right? So if we go to the content, right? So if we go to the, so let's try to present this, right? So bear with me, right? We're gonna get to the details, right? So we have the part of the extension part, the Chromium part, the Chrome part of the extension. The Chrome basically just subscribes to those lists, right? Just subs to the lists. And then as you can see, I get the messages. As you can see here, I have a Twitch icon that I've added, YouTube icon that I've added. This indicates which platform the message actually comes. And then I also have, as you can see, I'm not, there is a slight delay, it seems. Let's see, because, yeah, there is something with delay. So we'll see, because this is the first stream I'm actually using this in the stream with you guys. So let's actually see how it works. Your stream became fancy. +1 spam. Let's see. I think we're missing a message from. Yeah, let's see, because it's slightly, yeah. Yeah, let's actually try one thing. So yeah. Yeah, that's a bit awkward, right? But actually, let's do one thing. Let me just do this. Yeah, everything works. I mean, again, okay, good. I just had to refresh. Okay. Yeah, because, I mean, I built this in 3 hours, so not everything is done. Not everything is done. All right. So, yes. So as you can see, everything works great. Let's... Beautiful. So you can see we're getting actually the... Yeah. No bullshit. Yeah. Well, we're not doing working programming network today. This stream is going to be, we're building something else. But yes, programming network is going to be built for a couple of years probably. So yes. Okay, so anyway, I need to focus now, so please stop spamming. All right, thank you for following. All right, so as you can see, one thing that I did, I want to do some unique things. So for example, if I want to read some message, I can just click on it, right? And as you can see, I can highlight it. So if somebody asks something cool, I can click it, and then I can discuss it, right? Let's see if alert is going to actually render. And we need to, yeah, we need to do a few more things here, right? All right, so. Alrighty, let's see if this all works. Yeah, suddenly that stopped working. That's so fucking annoying, man. Just give me a second, because this is slightly becoming annoying, because now I can see that my OBS is not showing the Chrome. Are you seeing the Chrome now? I guess you don't see my Chrome now, right? Thank you very much, Noble. Thank you very much, buddy. Yeah, this fucking shit, man. I'm trying for the first time in the stream this automatic scene switcher, but it doesn't actually seem to be working properly, honestly. It's a bit annoying. Chrome, let me try removing that and adding it back again. All right, now it's there. Okay. So let's see this, and then this. Okay. So what we're going to continue doing today essentially is styling this, obviously, and building features on top of it, right? I'm gonna go back here and just refresh this. All right. So what did I wrote a to-do list of the things that I want to do. Save internet messages API should be written in the file system used concurrently to run project in one command. Live state. Yeah, okay, so let's start with some stuff here. So what I'm going to do is, and this is going to be obviously open source anyway, so you're going to get access to this eventually, probably tomorrow. So what did I do up until now? All right, so we have that, we have the messages, we have the pop-up, right? Okay. Where was the context API? All right. So since this is going to be a super simple app, what we're going to do, we're going to lift the state all the way here to the app. It's going to be a default value, right? So we're going to I wonder though, thank everybody for your follows. Appreciate it. The question is, do I actually want to do that? Give me a second. So what do I have? I have this pop-up, which I'm actually going to get rid of. So I'm actually going to, so let's build this whole thing yesterday after work. So it's been a quite, yeah, so we're going to use that over there, right? Yeah, and then we can get rid of this crap entirely. And fuck, man, like, okay. So yeah, wait, I can't use this new shit that I built for the stream. Nah, not gonna work. Give me 1 second. Not gonna work. I can see that it's just works a bit and then it doesn't. Give me a second. Let me fix it up in the old way. Fucking OBS, man. Like, how hard can it be, man? Wait, give me a second. No, I mean, it's easier for me. I tried to make some setup that's easier for me, right? But what the fuck is going on, man? Why is it doing that? Okay, I think now it's fine, right? Yeah. All right. Well, we're back to. If it's more pleasant, then even better. Yeah, I just play with it a bit, right? So it's great. Good to hear then. Okay. Always pleasure to see you. Thank you very much, man. Thank you. All right, so let's go here. Does my mouse work? Okay, well, at least that, I guess. Sometimes. Jesus Christ. Let me just fix this up again. Slightly annoying, to be honest. All right, beautiful. Okay, cool. So let's go back here so now we have really this, then we have the chat. Yeah, exactly, because this is going to be a very simple app, right? But very powerful, I would like to think. So what we're actually going to do, right? We're going to lift some state all the way up. So we're going to lift it up as much as we can, actually. So here to the actual app. So what we're going to do, I'm actually going to lift this fella over here. Let's import that, and then do that, right? And then we're going to go into this bad boy here. Gonna do that, right? That's great. That's also great. Okay, cool. Then we no longer need that, right? Yeah. So if we go to our chat, right? Actually, because right now it should not be fetching anything, but now it actually did, so that's good. As you can see, of course, due to performance things, I don't want to, because I'll show you the whole architecture of this thing, but you'll see it tomorrow when I push it to GitHub. So I did have to build the API, mainly because you can also inject this thing into your OBS as an overlay. And in order to do that, you cannot inject the Chrome extension URL because that runs in a sandboxed environment inside of Chrome. So what I'm doing now is like my Chrome extension is observing on the changes of all corresponding chats. Then I'm sending then I'm calling my little HTTP server that we wrote here. And then my server is, this client, this little app that we built here is kind of pulling every second, right, to get the new messages, right? Now what I did, right, in order to make that a little bit more performant, right? Where is my hook? I'll show you. Yeah, so this use message listener that I wrote, as you can see, is using this visibility change API. So in simple words, if the tab is not focused, we're not going to be pulling from our API. So in simple words, only now when this is focused, I'm going to be actually trying to get messages, right? You can see that if I scroll down, right? And you can see that kind of due to this as well, I think it kind of lags a bit, right? Because probably if I want to, you see if I refresh my chat here now, the messages from Big Shot are also here. I can click it, and then I can emphasize his message, right? So we're going to build this so it's useful to a streamer. So for example, also what I want to do, we're going to build a little save icon here. If I want to save an interesting question from some of you guys to my local computer, I can just click the save button and save that to my local computer, right? So we can build this so it's useful in more ways, especially if you guys are asking something or whatever. I can just say, okay, I want to save this question for later, right? And stuff like that. So that's what we're going to do today. And we're going to style this crap now. As you can see, obviously I didn't style anything. And we're going to do that now as well. Oops. All right, cool. But yeah, we have this visibility change. Then, of course, it stops this interval. It clears the interval when the focus from the browser is actually lost. Yeah. So now we have this focused message here, and we want to remove the overflow if the message is focused. That's why I wanted to lift the state here. So we're going to say class names, right? We're going to have this base class, which is the background, and then we're going to say here, hey, yeah, exactly. This is, what the fuck, man? How did it know that that's what I want? It's so crazy, man. Okay, now if I click this, yeah, so still, yeah, let's see. Yeah, overflow hidden, so that's good, right? So you can see when I emphasize one of your messages, like, hey, you maybe ask something, I don't want this to change. Actually, so it's good now. If you don't want to subscribe, but yeah. Okay, that's great, super. And then we'll fix this overflow and stuff, but I made this so it automatically scrolls to the newest message, right? So if I come here and say test, it should actually, or it should hopefully, we should see it there. Okay, beautiful. So let's kind of start styling this, blah, blah, blah. and then building more functionality into it. So, and actually the way that I'm going to style this is with a dummy data. So actually we can do it like this live. Maybe it's more fun, right? So let's actually do it like this, just so I can have a bit more space. No. So let's actually move this fella over here. Give me a second. Come on, man. Yeah, so we have the chat now to the right, and I can also read your chat there, which is good now. But let's also kind of style this a bit. So let's do some styling there. So this chat actually looks like something. So let's go to message, I believe that's what I wrote. And yeah, let's add some, let's start adding some style to those messages. So let's see, is this a message? Yeah, it is. So let's try to say border gray 500 just for fun. Yeah. P4. Yep. What did I write in my to-do that I want to do? Save the interesting questions. Messages is used concurrently to run the project in one command. Lift state up. So yeah, this is what we just did, right? So that's good. Mark questions as answered. Yeah, actually, I don't know about that. Play one game. Good evening, my friend. How are you? Yeah, okay, so we'll need to, and then there's emojis we're gonna have to render, so we're gonna render those as images. So we're gonna do that in a moment. Thank you everybody for your follows. Very much appreciated, guys. Thank you. Let me actually just actually check one thing, right? So I'm just going to actually give me 1 second. So yeah, so if I do this, it's gonna. Chat with pagination? I've never seen chat with pagination yet. Yeah, I'm just. Okay, good. So messages are coming. Great. Okay. Okay, great. So let's leave that for now like that. Okay, and then let's, is this 100% how they look like? Yes, okay, so let's increase everything basically in this project. Let's increase the size here of the font overall. Yeah, but you're not gonna read the previous messages, right? I don't think that they matter, right? But let's get there. Like let's not get lost in those details. Right? That's absolutely relevant, right? I made this whole thing yesterday, right? So I'm not gonna be thinking about 10,000 messages, right? I'm building this tool for myself, literally. I don't think that my chat is ever gonna have 10,000 messages, right? And if it does, then we're gonna solve it at that point, right? So that's not very relevant right now, right? I'm just wondering why does this thing get stale and then it stops observing? So I'll need to figure that one out. Yeah, it's a bit strange. Yeah, I don't think it matters if you spam because I just need to increase the size of this chat. I want it to actually be pretty big. Yes, and then over here for the author. Luminex, my friend, good evening. I don't know if I'll be able to show emojis just like that, right? That's a little bit more difficult, right? Because I'm scraping this in a very primitive way, right? I'll show you. I'm gonna record a video for this tomorrow how this all works, but I don't know. That's a little bit difficult to do in this context, right? But again, I'm building this to remove anything, so I'm actually probably gonna remove all the emojis, right? Because this is not a chat that's meant for you to be reading; it's meant for the streamer to be reading, right? And I don't want to be looking at those childish things. Um, I don't connect to Twitch at all. This is not connecting to anything. I'm observing for changes in those chats, and then whenever a message comes to one of those chats, my Chrome extension that I built sends an event to my API with the data that I'm aggregating, and then my frontend is pulling data from that API. I'm not connecting to anything. That's the whole point. If I was connecting to Twitch and YouTube and stuff, that has API limits and stuff like that, so that wouldn't work, right? Yeah, right, exactly. So it's kind of, I guess there's nobody on YouTube, right? I don't think there is. Did I actually get? So yeah, and then from YouTube, I'm not actually fetching stuff properly. Today we're not building Programmer Network. Today I'm building some other tool just for one stream. But for Programmer Network, that's the stack. This has nothing to do with this. This is something different now. I'm just building some chat aggregator tool, a Chrome extension today and stuff. It's just so I can see that play game has written hi. So let's actually figure out why am I not scraping the name properly from this chat, right? So if I go to my content script here, for Twitch, for YouTube, I'm saying that the author is author name. So if I search here by author name, Maybe that's why, right? So let's get, because this is a it's a web component, right? So I believe that's why it didn't need a class there, right? Yeah. So let's rebuild our actually now I can use my actual chat, so I don't need to use this setup. Okay, wait, give me a second. Let's go cd fusion something chat fusion. Let's build the extension again, the Chrome extension, and let's run the API of it. What was it? Let's say pm. So let's say cd chat and pm dev, and then here we have to say node. Node. What was it? Server API server JS, right? Yes, I can. Give me a few minutes. Let's go to my Chrome now, which actually let's move it back to where it was. And let me reinstall the extension that I just rebuilt. So let's go here. Let's go manage extension. Let's go back. Let's actually just refresh the extension. Let me actually remove it in case some stuff is stale. And let me what was the path of that where I'm building it? So it's the dist somewhere, right? It's dist, right? Yeah. So let's see what that path is. Let's say load unpacked. Yeah, it's pretty much there. Let's load it. Okay, it's there. Cool. Let me just refresh those chats, making sure that the messages are still going to be coming in. I hope they will. Let me actually... Okay, good. So they are coming, I guess. Let me say test. Yeah, all right, good, good. Cool. So thank you, play one game. Okay, so that's great. So what do I want to do? So yeah, but okay, are we actually seeing now that, okay, now we can see the username from YouTube as well. Beautiful. And I can emphasize that, right, and stuff like that. So if you ask me a question now, so the idea is that we build more features into this, right? So when I'm asking you questions or whatever, when we're in the question mode, I can switch to this chat and then emphasize some questions, save some questions that I want to maybe record a video about, etc., right? So beautiful. So let's give me 1 second. So let's go here. You would like that, wouldn't you? Exactly. Yeah. Just we don't want the actual primary color here. We want to maybe text gray 500 or something like that. Let's take a look at that. Yeah. Let's see what Rebecca is saying. Let's emphasize what she's saying. Hassan in uni on YouTube. I can see it here. Okay, well, the extension is already doing what I wanted, so that's a win already. Can you build a feature where chat gets to break and exploit your app? You guys are future businessmen for sure. Your ideas are brilliant. If I only implement that, we're done with life. It's just it's going to be great. Very important features. you guys are suggesting. Super intelligent. Yep, very great. And best of all, very useful, unbelievably useful. Thank you. Very good, very good. I don't know what I would do without you guys with such great opinions and suggestions. Beautiful. Okay, so why is it lagging though? So my observer seems to be maybe lagging a bit or whatever. Mailar is saying lol. That's cool. I will. All the income that I make is yours. Everything we make is yours. You take it, please. I don't want it. Okay? Every single penny we make, it's yours, guys. Just ask for it, okay? Okay, so we need that. Can you send me $5 a month back? Limao. Yeah. The big shot. Okay, so there's still, so essentially I think what we should also do, if the message is focused, right? We should probably stop scrolling, right? Or even unsubscribe from, so where do we use this? Where am I using the, actually, yeah, so if we go to the app, right? So over here we have this file, we have use state, we have the, so let's extend this thing with should stop, whatever, right? Let's just add a type here, so functional component, right? Let's say should stop boolean, right? What the fuck are you talking about, man? Oh, this is messages. My apologies. No, actually, it is good. It is good. So here now we should say should stop. Then essentially what we want to do, we want to say, hey, well, if it should and we can actually revert this stuff, right? So here we're going to say should stop. So if you're wondering why that message play one game, it's more that I would like people to watch on YouTube instead of Twitch. Well, I want you to keep both open, but if you don't care, right? Ah, the link is broken. Okay, I'll take a look at it. Doesn't matter. But the point is, I wanted people to. What the fuck is happening? Ah, shit. My bad. Wait, that makes no fucking sense. Wait a minute. What the fuck is this, man? What did I write here? Why are you here? Super awkward. Okay, never mind. Let's create a closure here. And let's do that. Yeah, that's not very good. Shit. Yeah, that's probably not gonna work, but let's see. What the fuck is this, man? Are you kidding me? Actually, we don't need this. React node. What node are you talking about? All right. That actually still does work. Strange whatsoever. I think what I want to do, so let's take a look at our API. So you can see we're pulling from our API. You can see behind my head, we're calling the API. Now, if I enlarge this, we should stop calling the API. That's what I'm trying to build, right? So when I emphasize the message, I don't want to be pulling anymore. So yeah, so I think one more thing that we need to do. So if we go over here, I want to do that if something is focused, right? So technically I want to say coerce this into a boolean, right? Just because of TypeScript, right? And then we'll fix those types. Now you can see that actually maybe it already is working. Let's see, or maybe not. Well, actually, so we are now polling. If I do this, yeah, we're still calling it, right? Yeah, so that's not good, right? So we didn't solve it yet. So let's see. Should stop false. Should stop true, right? So should stop is true, basically. So that's fine, right? So that's okay. Now, So that was okay, right? So should stop was true. Hmm. So yeah, that's a bit awkward. So something's probably wrong here, right? Let's try to print this fella in here, right? Inside the use effect. So let's do this. Let's get that there, right? And let's put it here. Yeah, so should stop is true, right? Give me 1 second. Alrighty. So going back to this crap. So I can actually undo this, right? What I just did. Did nothing. That was pretty useless, right? Still need to commit this. I didn't create a repo for this yet. So that's why I'm reverting it manually like this. Jesus Christ. Let me just smack a GG there. Okay, that's great. So that's good. So before, okay, sure. Before we actually solve that though, let's make the messages platform specific color wise, right? So if messages, I don't know, YouTube look like this, if it's that, look like that, right? So let's go into message, right? And just as we have those icons, right, we're gonna have Yeah, so let's do that, right? So we're gonna say here, this is gonna be platform is Twitch. I don't know, is it called platform? What is it? Message.platform or whatever. Yeah. Border rows. YouTube, right? And then let's say kick. It's gonna be green. So that should already be reflected, I believe. Some way actually, should it? Did I make this an enum, the platform itself? What is the interface of that? Platform. Get platform. Yeah, get platform by host name. Yes, but how do I set the platform here? Platform host name. So Twitch and you. Okay, so it's T like this. Okay, I dislike that. Okay. Yeah, so let's change that to YouTube as well, right? We should probably make the messages actually appear on the top, not on the bottom, but it's okay. And yeah, the main reason why we see this discrepancy, let me actually kill the API and run it again, is because now we have the data with which is kind of stale a bit, right? So yeah, so that's fine, right? Someone from YouTube, please send a message or two if you can, because I'm making that one now. Thank you. So this is fine, right? Then we're gonna pretty much do the same, and then we're gonna generalize later, right? So here we want to do the same here, right? Yeah, pretty much the same almost, right? So we're gonna get rid of this bad boy, right? And then we're gonna do this, right? And then this is just gonna be text and not border, right? Just, it doesn't really like it yet. It's okay. I guess we don't need this maybe, right? But yeah, but it doesn't work. That's super fucking strange. What's happening? It's Dev Sam. Good evening, buddy. So it is good. It is Twitch, right? So what's happening? What are we messing up? YouTube is, no, it's not. No, at least not here. If you mean, I don't see that it is. It says YouTube, right? But yeah, YouTube seems to be off, so it's fine, right? If we take a look at my API, right? Let's actually go to in the console. Yeah, I see. Yeah, exactly. Because shit, because I need to build the we didn't reinstall the Chrome extension we're building, right? So we have to rebuild the Chrome extension first, right? And then let's reinstall it, right? So let's go over here. Let's just refresh it, right? Beautiful, thank you. Let's kill the API. Let's run it again. And then let's refresh this thing. Somebody from YouTube, please say something. Send me a few messages from YouTube. Super awkward. Let's see.
All right, so let's fuck it. So the refresh sometimes doesn't do it, so we just need to. So let's just kill the thing, right? Let's just remove the extension and load it and pack it again, right? Yeah, there we go. Should be fine now, I think. Let me kill the API because it has those stale requests now. And yeah, let me refresh this and let me refresh this. Yeah, there we go. YouTube is now red, right? Okay, good. So that's good, right? Cool. Then we'll need to do the same for kick, right? I didn't. We can do the kick together, right? Samuscope, good evening. It's so nice that this 3-hour project, 4-hour project is already working because I almost paid for this stream from this restream. So that's really good. I mean, we can now. Yeah, this is unfortunately like we could, if you guys want to contribute to this, and we could use Electron.js or something like that, and actually make it easy for other users to actually use this, non-technical people. But yeah, I built everything yesterday after work. Yep, I can code very fast when I'm not streaming. The streams are yeah, and I got first Patreon today, so Sharchini subscribed by 10 euros. So thank you very much, buddy. If you're here, that's very kind of you. Thank you. All right, but let's keep on going, right? We also have those features now. I can emphasize a message. I can click on a message. If you guys ask something. So I want to build this first for myself. I don't care about the others, honestly, right now. So in simple words, I just need to make sure that I build this for myself. So, and then next thing we will build now, I want to make sure that I can save all those logs on my computer. So then when I'm making YouTube videos, that I can aggregate stuff from your own questions and stuff like that. So let's kind of keep on going. And this is, and I think good thing about this is that this is, at least from the privacy perspective, amazing, simply because data doesn't leave my computer, right? This is all happening on my computer, so there's no remote servers or anything like that. So right, if you want to see I mean, this is gonna be, you're gonna get access to this tomorrow anyway on my I'm gonna share it, right? But what was it? But I mean, the API is like marginal, just a simple Fastify with like 2 endpoints so far, right? So just push the messages from the Chrome extension into this messages array. Probably gonna add Postgres now to it. Just save messages in Postgres, right? For sure it is. For sure it is. Okay. Yeah. All right, so that's great. Let's keep on going, right? As you can see, I didn't render those emojis yet. So let's render the emojis, right? I did manage to scrape them, right? But I didn't render them yet. So let's actually do that, right? So here we have the emojis, and you can see I'm just rendering the actual URL as a string, not as an image. So what we actually have to do here really is just use an image src, right? Pass this bad boy here, and that should give us emojis, right? And as you can see, it does. There they are. Now we can also increase the size of them as we wish, because we are in full control of this thing, right? So I can say width 12 if I want, just in your faces. So emojis are like super big because you guys like it like that, right? And right? And then we're gonna do, what do we have here? Content and emojis, right? So we're gonna say flex also item center a gap too, right? So there it goes, like big ass Vivax. Let's see if we can render it with Vivax sent. Yeah, there it is. Now, whatsoever, I wrote this to prevent from emoji spamming because I'm using a set. So yesterday when I wrote this Chrome extension, I literally use a set to make sure that people like Vivax cannot spam multiple emojis in a row. So this little portion here ensures that it can only be one emoji at a time of the same type, right? So that's why if you actually take a look at this, it's only one and not five, right? One of the same type, yes. So one of the same type is gonna work. So you can see you cannot have two of the same type in the same message, right? How do you do that with emojis? What do you mean? Yeah, it's only unique ones. It's only unique ones. Yeah, spammers. All right, cool. So now we have the emojis as well. Let's make them like super big, just in your faces, because you guys actually suck. And because of that, I know that you like emojis, right? So there you go, in your face, mega big emojis, right? There you go. Yeah, you can't spam. No, wait. Cool story, bro. All right, yeah, so we need to figure out this observer and why is this slight delay, right? It's almost like an observer dies or something. At what point? Yeah, because I can see that my message, for instance, was kind of lost, right? Yeah, I used an emoji for the first time for a year. I admit, that's it. All right, cool. All right, well, yeah, great. Give me a second. Give me a moment here. Give me a moment here. Let me grab a sip of water here. Emojis are different. Emojis are different. We can also make sure that those are not supported, but I don't care actually. This is right. Who cares? Okay, so what is it that we want to do? So we can now zoom this in, and whenever you guys ask a question, I can kind of smack it big on the screen so we can all read it, right? This is one of the features I wanted to do, and I did it yesterday. Give me 1 second. I don't want this. This is the only time we ever going to be doing this is this stream. I want to build the programmer network, but yeah. What about YouTube emojis? It's the same, I think. I actually don't know if I'm parsing YouTube emojis yet. Yeah, I don't think that I've actually got a hang of them yet. I don't think so. Let me go to my content script in the Chrome extension. So let's see. Emojis, yeah, so you can see this container, chat image container, I didn't provide it yet for YouTube, right? So let's do that together. So let's actually figure out, so what do we, so let's just figure out how do we get a handle of them, right? So how can we get to them, right? YouTube live chat text message renderer. So image class emoji. Let's just try emoji, right?
Yeah, so let's try emoji. Let's rebuild the Chrome extension again. It's we're gonna optimize that query selector so it's a bit more efficient, because right now it's gonna search for emoji in the whole page, and that's not good. But who cares for now? What did I want to do? Yeah, so we need to go and reinstall the Chrome extension, right? Give me a sec. Let's go here, manage extension. Let's go and let's disable it first. Let's nuke it from here. Let's load it unpacked. Let's select it again. And yeah. Because it needs to read the context of other pages. That's why it's an extension. Okay. Can you try smacking some emojis on YouTube again? Can you use APIs for that? Yes, you can. You can do many things in life. Go use the APIs, try it yourself, and then see why not. Why you wouldn't want to do that. 2 reasons: it's expensive, and 2, it takes obviously a lot more time, right? I want this to be browser based, and I don't want to be using APIs. I don't want to be dealing with rate limits, API limits, and stuff like this. Has no limits, and there's no correlation to Twitch or YouTube or any other platform. This is completely free, so that's why. It's easier in relation to what? I mean, relative to what, right? That's the thing. It's easier relative to what? It's certainly not easier relative to this, because I built this in 3 hours, this whole project, right? So it really depends. So anyway, here is the emojis work now for YouTube as well. So that's good. Let me actually go there as well. Shit, how do I use them? How do I use emojis? How do I use emojis here? All right. Huh. I'm not sure if I'm using the right chat anymore, to be honest. Can you try again, Big Shot? Just try using multiple ones, because I might be... Interesting. Oh, I see. I see. Oh, I see. I see. So it has to... Okay, okay. Got it. Got it. All right. Fair enough. All right. Cool. That is cool. All right. So let's go to my dear... Oh, somebody actually signed up today, I guess. 4 hours ago. Okay. Guys, please don't forget to sign up on Programmer Network. Frankly Gamer, good evening, buddy. Just make sure you don't forget to sign up to that, please. Let me actually pin it. Pin. Yeah, awesome. All right, cool. So that's fine. Let's actually go back here and do some more styling, right? So I think let me do something like this, maybe 1 second. Yeah, that's great. And then what I want to do, I have some absolutely positioned stuff done now, right? It's the icon itself. Yes. So let me do this.
And the next thing we want to do, so we want to build some features on top of this, so it's actually useful for me, right, when I'm streaming. So let's build a save this question button or something, right? So let's actually get over here and say whatever div save this comment, save this message, right? Because sometimes you guys ask me something that I could potentially use when streaming, right? So when recording videos for YouTube. So let's just say here p2 border give me 1 second. I'll answer. The background is some wallpaper image I have here. Theme is dark modern plus. Well, actually, right now it's a pale light theme, but generally I don't use this theme. Give me 1 second. So the theme is pale light theme, and the background is I'm using the background extension for VS Code, basically. Yeah. Save this message. Okay, so why class names p2? Oh, it's because of this is the border, I see, but give me 1 second just to test something. Okay, so that actually works there. So why? Oh, I see. My bad. Okay, so let's say border here. Okay, and let's also say here text indigo 700, right? Let's do this and that and that and that, right? Beautiful. So let's say max width of, I don't know, 150, right? Save this messages. Beautiful. Very nice English. So that's, yeah. Let's then shit, what did I do? Save this message. Yeah, so something like that. That's what I wanted. Now I need to make sure that, yeah, maybe it would have been better if this was actually outside in a way, right? Or maybe not, right? Just laughing at myself for a moment here, sorry. Give me one moment. Give me 1 second. Let me just get some water. 1 moment. All right, beautiful. Okay, let's keep on going. Oops, 1 sec. All right, so what we basically want to do is when I click this, we want to call this very simple API we have, and I want to maybe save a message that I find interesting, right? Obviously, I want to only show this one if and when. Actually, no, maybe I should be able to also save it from this view here as I'm reading, maybe, right? Sometimes water, big shot, nice. So actually, yeah, that's good. Actually, let me grab a beer, guys. Give me 2 seconds. Shit, do I have a beer? I have a beer on the balcony and I'm too lazy to go there. Never mind, forget it. Actually, no, I have some rum. Give me 1 second. I couldn't go to the balcony, but I have some rum. It's a rum. Oh my god, it's complex here. Complex. I know you're trolling me, man, but I do love you, bro. Thank you for coming. You always make my day. I know that you're shitting in my face as always. Every time Complex tells me something nice, I know something bad is coming afterwards. Okay, so let's keep on coding, guys. That's why we're here, right? We can talk a bit of crap, but at the end of the day, we can be influencers and all of that shit. But at the end of the day, we need to do the work. That's all that matters, right? Everything else is just empty words, is it not, right? Again, you guys can clean up this stuff. I'm going to open source this literally tonight or tomorrow. It was a one-day project, yeah, you guys can help if you want. I'm going to set up a very good foundation, and then if some people find this tool useful for them when streaming or watching someone else stream, then that's great. Otherwise, I don't care. Then we're going to add some database to this and stuff, but let's keep it simple for now, right? Let's go to this mega simple API we built yesterday. Let's just say here post, right? There's no open spec or any standards we're following here. We don't care. It's a very simple thing. And then obviously here we want to say sorry. We're going to say reply. We're going to say let's just, and then we're going to switch this with an actual database. Let's say saved messages, right? And then we're going to say here we're going to pretty much do something like this, right? We're going to say saved messages push, and then we're going to obviously we can just respond with all the saved messages, right? Then we're going to at one point in the stream, I think today we can add some what about using IndexedDB? Again, this is a 5-hour project, right? And I'm building this just for myself right now. So I started streaming 3 days ago on 3 platforms, Twitch, YouTube, and Kick. And then I realized that there's no way for me to centralize all the chats from all platforms into one. And then yesterday, after I finished my work, my full-time job, I sat for like 3 hours and I built this service. So I don't care about any complexities, right? I just need it to do, it already does what I want. So from my perspective, I'm already done because I can now read all chats inside of Workplace, right? And I didn't want to pay, $20 a month for a tool that does that, right? It's ridiculous. And now how far somebody goes with this, either me or some of you, if you want to contribute, that's up to you, right? 3 days ago, I think I started streaming to YouTube, Kick, and Twitch at the same time. Right now, I'm multi-streaming, right? No, absolutely not. I was uploading videos to YouTube, Leo. When my Twitch stream would finish, I would go and then upload the recording of my Twitch stream. I wasn't streaming there. Builder 404. Good evening, buddy. Always there. Thank you for saying hi, man. Thank you for saying hi. All right, so now we have this. Let's actually see if we can call this thing, right? And we need to stop the propagation. So when I click save, right? Let's focus this message. We need to make sure we don't actually so let's go back here to the client thing, right? Was it message, right? Yeah. Let's see, where do I do this? Yeah, over here, right? So here we have to say stop propagation, right? So we don't actually fire the outer event as well, right? Okay. So let's now go to the UI. Let's click the save and let's see what happens. Save message 404. Okay, great, good. So localhost API save message. How did I actually call it? No, this is my programmer network API. Actually, let's go back here. Oh, that's because we didn't restart the server. That's why, right? Because I'm not using nodemon. Again, this was very quickly assembled after work, so it's okay, beautiful. Okay, good. 500. Great. Super.
Request is not defined. Beautiful. Super. All right. So yeah. So we forgot obviously to yeah, we called it request. Yeah. Beautiful. Let's go back here. Let's refresh this bad boy here. Alex, I set the standard. Ah, oh, dude. Yeah, I set the standard. Yeah, I mean, okay, so now it works. So we can see that I actually am saving now. So we're gonna replace this. So we're gonna replace this, right, with a database soon, right? But genuinely, so right now, keep in mind, right now I'm building features that I genuinely need for this stream. So for example, I want to be able to, when somebody asks me a good question, I want to be able to like emphasize it, answer it maybe on the stream, and then click this save button, store it on my either like a file system. We don't even need to use a database, right? We can even use a file system. I can have just a file on my local computer, right? And just because I don't want to store all the logs of chat because most of the stuff that you guys say is just pure shit and it's useless, right? So what I basically just want to do is I just want to make sure that those 3% of messages that have some value from you guys, I want to save those, right? So that's pretty much it, right? Rest of it, I never want to read again. Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, I already have a local Postgres running, right? Could just use Node. It doesn't matter what the database is. It's irrelevant what it is, right? I can use the MongoDB or store it locally on my computer or use Postgres and JSONB. Don't get lost in details. That's not relevant here, right? For this, I've used CouchDB many times, but again, this does not need any complexity, right? I'm probably going to use file system here and write to this local directory of this project, right? Exactly. Exactly. So probably what we're actually going to do, because we don't really need tables, we can just store this in a. We're just going to store this locally, right? So I'm going to create probably a file here in. So probably what we're actually going to do, right? We don't need IndexDB, and if I need IndexDB, I would use Dexy.js or something like that again. But this is not a technical type of project. This is a useful project, right? So I'm building this because I need it, not because I want to waste time with databases, right? So that's the difference, right? So let's create a new file here. Let's call it messages.txt, right? And we're going to basically just, through our API, we're probably going to store images inside of this text file on my local computer, and then that's really all that there is. And then I can commit this to my local version of this thing, and I can have it on GitHub. So there's that, right? We don't need to host a database for this thing, right? Because again, this is going to be an open source project, and I want to make sure that this is actually useful. This is built to be useful, not to be, right? I picked TypeScript mainly because this is going to be an open source project, right? So that's why, right? Just so people can get around the code easier, right? Okay, so let's actually start doing that already. So let's use some FS from Node, right? So FS is require FS, right? And here we can say it's been so many years, been maybe 10 years since I used the plain. No, not 10 years, but some time, right? So we're going to say fs.async, right? We're going to say save, what was it? Write async, right? I think that was the write, yeah, actually write file is async. Yeah. Right? Yeah, actually we can even do it like this as a JSON, right? And I think this would actually store it relative to where I am right now. But let's give it a shot. Who cares, right?
let's actually create, because it's going to complain about permissions. So let's say messages.json, right? So we're going to have an empty JSON thing, right? That's what databases are at the end of the day. They're just file storage, and then you operate across those files anyway, right? So we don't need an actual database, right? So write file, then we have a callback here, if error, blah, blah, blah. We can obviously permissify this. I think actually the recent versions of Node.js do provide the promise-based things, but again, we don't really care at all. So let's see what we did wrong here. I'm sure that we did something wrong, but let's see what. Blah, blah, blah. So let's refresh this bad boy here, and hopefully we're gonna get some list of messages here. So let's see what's gonna fail. Save. Actually, nothing failed yet. I'm gonna save some interesting questions that I click on so I can maybe do the YouTube videos on them then, right? Oh, okay, so the message was, as you can see, saved as JSON, right? So actually, so it does work. So that's perfect. So there it is. So you can see we don't really need a database, right? Why would we need a database? Setting it up, running Docker container, whatever. That's too much work, right? Beautiful. So there we go. So database task done. There's our database. So now I can save stuff to my local computer, and then I can commit this to my repository if I don't trust this being on my computer, right? So if we actually go back here, now I can just try saving a few more of them. I'll just randomly click around. And that's actually, yeah, so as you can see here they are. And that's great. I know who you are. I know, very important, what your badge is. And then I have your question, right? And where you asked it. So, and then if we, if we want to keep this tool simple, now we can actually use this and feed it to our actual API. So one of the endpoints can read from this file, and we can still have this behave as a database. So we can, because this is JSON, we could now search in here, you know, by the ID, because those are, well, those are not UUID4s, but they're still unique. Not 100% unique, but they will be unique, right? There's still a chance that this actually isn't unique as it doesn't use any time. But again, it's not relevant, right? Who cares, man? Okay. Let me drink a bit of this rum. Yeah, I generated Numinix this ID. That's why you haven't seen it. I just wrote some math random shit with some string substringing and stuff. All right, cool. So now we can save the messages. That's great. What else do we want to do is the question. So let's go to our to-do. Mark questions as answered. This is, I wrote this last night before I went to bed, just some ideas. So I did this already, right? So I think this one is done already. So let's move this stuff here. Yeah, so this is more when I say advanced, I don't mean technically advanced. I mean, it's just not a 5-minute thing. So, but for example, another thing that I could do, let's imagine that one of you come here and you say there's a bug in XYZ, right? It would be cool, right, that I can click that, and just as I saved it, I can turn it automatically using GitHub Projects API into a task, right? So when you guys report a bug in chat, it would be pretty cool if I can just click a button and it automatically creates a task for me. So that would be another useful thing for me. So some of you said there's a bug in XYZ. I'm like, okay, I click the bug icon, and then it stores it right in inside of my GitHub projects, right? Which one, Leo? I think you guys do report bugs in Programmer Network. You guys do that, I think. So I think it would be useful. Can I rename the stream actually, because today we're not doing what I'm saying that we're doing. It doesn't really matter actually. So now we can save them. What else do we want to do with this thing, right? Oh, what is this to-do list? This is, it's called To-Do Plus. It's one of the oldest extensions I've been using in VS Code, I think, for many, many years. There you go, buddy. All right, let's see what else can we do today. Emphasize new followers and subscribers in the chat. Oh, okay, so that's an interesting one. So, but actually, does this matter? I don't actually know. My pleasure, my pleasure, buddy. My pleasure. Same for the general chat items. Use concurrently to run the project in one command. Okay, so let's push this to GitHub already, and then yeah. So let's see. Did I actually write any README here? I did write some README last night when I was pushing this, when I was creating this. Yeah, so I'm just gonna push it for now, and then this is not done yet, so whatever. But let's just push the stuff, right? Yeah, exactly. Pretty much. That's all you do. Yes, that's all you do. Exactly. I'll need to basically I'll need to write more. We're not done with this extension yet, right? Maybe a few more hours of some stuff, but give me 1 second. Let's just do some stuff, and then I just want to push it so some of you guys have access already, but we'll probably spend a few more hours on this, and then we're done. So let's create env sample, and then in the sample, we're gonna just add this, because this is the environmental variable where I have like a dummy thing where I can, where I don't need the actual live chat messages when I'm developing. So if I wasn't streaming now, I just wanted to develop this way so we can kind of make the more stream interactive. You guys send some messages and we see them. But in development mode, you would just build this chat component separately from expecting the live data coming from those respective services, right? Obviously, because it's a huge waste of time, right? All right, so what else do we need to commit here? Let's see. So let's just say here initial commit. Let's do this. Let's publish branch. Chat Fusion publish to GitHub public repo. I guess. Open on GitHub. Ah, fuck. I should have made this a part of programmer network organization. Give me 1 second. Let me fix that. Settings. It's called Chat Fusion. That's the game I need. Change repository visibility, transfer ownership, I guess, to programmer network, repository name Chat Fusion, because that's my organization. Anyway. Ah, come on, man. All right, where is it now? So I can share it. Chat Fusion, here it is. Let me just rename it as well, because this name kind of sucks ass right now. So enter description. Nah, that's not what I wanted. How do I rename it? Yeah. Programmer network chat fusion. Yes, beautiful. And then here's the repo, fellas. I'm going to send it to in here. Is it public? Did I make it public? Yeah, I did. Does it make sense? No, not really, right? Not really, but yeah, it's true, right? It just makes me, I have OCD, I'm perfectionist in that sense, right? So maybe not, right? Actually, maybe you're right. Let's rename it. I don't actually care, right? Let's rename it just to Chat Fusion. Yeah, exactly. Let's name it. Here is the new link. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. So this is the so far the work I've done. I've started this yesterday, so you can see. So you have now access to this fully. Make sure to give it a star if you can. That's obviously the least you can do. Let me actually star it as well. So please, everybody, give me a star right now, and then let's. This can be sometimes something that we play with, and you can also run this on your own machine. I'm not actually sure. Did I actually fully write the README? I don't think I did. Awesome. I don't think that I wrote this fully, right? But I think we need to finalize the README, right? I'm obsessed by documentation. Documentation for me is everything. I mean, if you take a look at any programmer network project, right? Frontend, API, right? Infrastructure. It's pretty much there's a sub readmes of things, right? So if you take a look at, I don't know, infrastructure documentation, right, which you actually can't see, everything is always diagrammed and fully documented, and then on top of that there's a readme file in every subdirectory, right? So that's because building a programmer network, a project at that scale alone, if I'm not writing documentation, I'm not gonna get anywhere, right? It would be impossible to come back in a month or two and then right. Give me 1 second, just checking one thing on my phone. All right, let me change some music. Give me a second. Let's go for Eric. No, let's go for Made of Tears by Joe Satriani. So yeah, I still have to improve the documentation for this so you guys can also contribute. But as you can see, it's a fairly simple sequence diagram that I made here. You can see there's a Chrome extension itself. Chrome extension is basically observing on those respectful chat boxes to say, right? We have mutation observer there. If you don't know what mutation observer is, it's the browser API that enables you to observe for an attribute or node or list changes of an element, right? So that's essentially, and I'm going to record the full YouTube video on this extension tomorrow, so maybe it's going to give you a little bit, but really the only part of the extension, so we're not using the pop-up HTML part of the extension or settings. So if we take a look at the manifest JSON here when it comes to our extension, it's super minimal. As you can see, host permissions are now kind of allow injection in every page because we're running this locally. Those host permissions basically should be set to Twitch and Kick and YouTube, right? Storage permission is actually not necessary because we're not actually using any storage, which we can get rid of that. So really, the only thing that we really have here is when it comes to Chrome extension part is this part, right? So first we get the selectors, we get the handle of the elements from those respective chat boxes where the message is. And then we extract the data from the message. Then we obviously turn it into JSON, and then we send that to our localhost API, which is this thing, right? So this Chrome extension scrapes the data, sends it as JSON to this, and then our little chat client, this little Vita React application we have with like 2 or 3 components, is polling and it's getting the messages here every second, right? So every second, every interval, we pull the message. So that is the generally how I did this. And this is, if you're aware, know how a sequence diagram works. This is really what I just said is. And you can see here that I have the localhost API here running on port 3000, the client, and you can see that the client is interfacing with localhost, right? It's like, hey, is there new messages? Is there new messages? Is there new messages? It's sending the HTTP request every second if the tab is active. So in simple words, I don't know why I have this. Do I have like multiple? No. What? How did I close my my other thing? Okay, it doesn't matter. But this is the idea. This is how it works, right? And you can see if you go to the repo, right? If you go into source content, right, and then index.ts, right, you'll notice here that, so for example, now in order to add any other platform to get the messages from, you would literally just copy paste this part. So if one of you want to do the kick, so if you want to actually contribute, do some open source stuff, you could copy paste this whole thing, change the host name to kick.com or whatever the URL is, and then go to the kicks.com chat box and figure out how do you get to those respective things. So how do I get the author? How do I get the badge, the content, the text, the message itself, the image, right? Those selectors, those variables, those properties could be named better, right? But again, this is now a 5-hour project. This whole thing took less than 5 hours, right? And then you can see here, this is then, I use the query selector. I get the text content of those respective things. So here I get the actual text message. Here I get the emojis, right? I basically search for the src and then I grab the URL and I get, as you can see, I convert it here to a set, mainly because, as I said, I don't want multiple emojis to be next to each other. So if you spam multiple emojis which are the same, there's only going to be one because you guys are annoying. Then we get the author, we get the badge, and then this is the data that we send. This is basically, as I just said a couple of minutes ago, I just generate a random ID like this. I didn't want to install additional dependency like UUID4, whatever. I could have just as well used the new date, right? Right. So that's it, right? And then if there's no content, I'm saying don't send a message, right? If there is no content, don't send a message. And here I'm just using the built-in fetch API that's built in the browser, right? So again, no external dependencies, and I'm just hitting my API, right? And obviously we had to enable course right here. So in simple words, we're just allowing access from all origins. In simple words, the API and the frontend don't have to reside in the same host name because we are on a local host, so we don't care. Of course, if we would deploy this server to a remote server, then the origin would have to be more specific, as then otherwise you would be allowing any browser to hit your API, right? So this is the Chrome extension part. Basically just two things, the manifest itself, right? And actually I can see that I didn't, let me just, I forgot to, let me just git ignore the messages, right? You could have utilized React SVR for more. What do you mean? What is more advanced? Can you tell me about that? Oh shit, wrong file. Yeah, but I don't need any of that. I need none of that. Which error? No, but it's not that I could. It's not that you're right. I mean, it's the thing is I don't need that. Why? Which error and which, right? I don't need any of that. That's the point. So I get your point, right? It's just that yeah, exactly. So you would do a PR. You would do a fork and then you would do a PR. Yes. Okay, where the hell was my chat now? Give me a second. Is this my client? Yeah, it is. Okay. I'll need to improve that README maybe tomorrow. I'm just too lazy right now. I'm sorry. Did we create the messages JSON? We did. Beautiful. Yeah, that's a bit awkward. What happened there? Oh, what? Wait a minute. Why is it saving this shit? Twitch, nice. Oh shit! Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I think we messed something up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Numinix, my friend. Sleep well. I wish you best, man. I'll see you tomorrow or some other time when I'm streaming. Yeah, it's super awkward. Oh, actually, wait a minute. Let's kill that for a sec. Let's remove that thing. Let's node, what was it? Node server, node API server, right? Yeah. Let's refresh this thing. Let's try saving. That's our programmer network API there. Let's go to messages. Messages. Okay, it's good. So it was the cache of some sort or whatever. All right, I see. Ah, yeah, exactly. Okay. Okay, it's good. Okay, good, 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 good. Great. All right, give me a second. That's super nice. What else could we do? What else could we do? Let's take a look at our to-do over here, right? So we just did this one, right? Yeah. Let's just say here, less likely. Let's just say here, low priority, right? Let's turn this into TypeScript. Let's use the robot there, right? So we forgot to do that, right? Let's do this. Turn this into TypeScript. We'll need to install Fastify types, right? Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, beautiful. So let's do this very quickly. Let's kill this bad boy here. Let's actually kill that. Let's say pmpmi-d, right? TypeScript, and then all of these bad boys, right? Yep. Did it write it all down? Yeah, it's super nice. Let's grab that fella. Let's go to the server. And obviously, let's rename this to TS, right? We'll keep this simple in a singular file because this is inherently very simple. Wow, that's super strange. Oh yeah, exactly. I see.
Actually, this is, I've never seen this. Wait a minute. Why are we getting that? Give me a sec. Types node. Okay, what did I actually install? Types. Okay, I see. Right, so pmpmi-d types node. That's maybe the issue, right? Most likely. Yeah, that was the issue. Give me a second. Types. Yeah, so this is my interface, right? I will duplicate it here because this is not isomorphic right now. So we'll just do it like this. Beautiful. So that should be fine. Right now we need to actually compile the API as well, right? So we need to say TSC, right? Node server, right? Actually, no, TSC. What was it? API server, right? Okay. Write the script for building the TS to JS. Let's read this question that somebody wrote. Give me one sec. Let's actually use this thing that we're building now to try and do that. Let me go to my Twitch, actually. I need to... Max, good evening, my friend. How are you? Let's pop out this chat. Let's close it over here. Let's paste it here. Let's refresh it, and then our thing should... Oh, our thing is not kicking in because, yeah, we need to... Give me a second. So technically, yeah, let's improve our script a bit, and that's one of the tasks we still have to do with this for this thing. So let's say build server. No, but that's not gonna work. No, that's not gonna work. No. Yeah. Let's create a tsconfig, but I think we have tsconfig already, right? So maybe we should nest it in here. We'll do something like this, right? And then we would do the relative path like this, right? No, I don't know who that is. Is that a who or a platform itself? Do you know Fortnite? Yeah, I don't know genuinely, but good. That's great, man. That's super. It's a YouTuber. I see. I see. I have no clue, to be honest with you. Influencer. Nice. Well, yeah, that's good. He should build. He should build it. Yeah, it's great. That's great. That's good. If you want to do it for the YouTube, I don't think that's ever going to happen, though. But let's see. Right? Because building something for real that actually works with real users is way different than you know, actually building something you know, for like that. Actually, yeah. So let's just literally say here, what did I do? Let's say API. server ts, right? Because that's the only file we really have for this project. And I'm sure it's going to be the only file we actually have, right? So if I go to API now, we should have the server there now, right? Yeah, exactly, right? So can I still say node server, node API server, JS? I should be able to, right? Yeah. So Max, the difference between me and some of those people from YouTube is that I'm genuinely building this platform because I want to build it. I'm not building it because I want you to view me or whatever, right? I don't actually care, to be very frank with you. So that is the difference, right? A lot of those people on YouTube, it's very different building something production ready and building something for a YouTube course, right? Because most of those people, they replicate stuff from other videos and then they add a bit of their own wording to it, right? So that is right. So that is just how it is. But yeah, anyway, that's just how it is. So this now actually works. So that's great. So we turn that into actual TypeScript. So we'll just need to actually write that in the README, right? But it's always good to watch a few other people, man, and get different perspective, right? Never take anyone for granted, including me, right? Everything I say is based on my experience. I've been in this industry for a long time, and as you can see, and as you have all of my public data online, you can be sure of that. And that is, I think, the only value that I can provide you. Things that I shared with you guys is based on my experience, which means that I'm also biased by my own experience, right? So that's why I say, everything you hear from me and anyone else for that matter, never take it for granted, right? Because we all have, and certainly don't trust the influencers and stuff, because today everybody is an expert when they are actually recording videos off, right? So that is the difference, right? One thing is building things live, right? And another thing is recording YouTube videos off camera, right? Abusing ChatGPT and stuff like that. So that's why I say take everything. I absolutely can. Yes, I will. Let's actually. So Chat Fusion exactly. So that's great. Let's just see. So yes. So let's do this. Let's go to So this is already ignored. It's beautiful. Let's go to the README. What did I write in the README? Give me a second. Okay, let's just paste this guy and tell it to give me 1 second. Create server build and server dev and watch to TSC in server dev. Use nodemon. So when I save your build and then I'll push this this thing, and then you guys can. I just need to do this so you guys can then start contributing and stuff. For those of you who just joined, yesterday I built some chat fusion Chrome extension that combines chats from different things. If you want to play with that and see, here's the repo. Feel free to contribute and play with it if you wish. It's absolutely up to you. Okay, so that's good. Just use the actual. It's not index. It's actual server, right? So that's the only thing that it did. What is this? Yeah, this is incorrect completely. Okay, so that's great. And then we have server build, right? We have, so this is how we're gonna build it. So let's say pnpm server build, but I think we need to update the tsconfig as well, right? I suppose it's actually what it did now. Yeah, that's not correct. Yeah. So that's, yeah, that's not correct. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm still going to keep using this without involving an additional tsconfig because we already have one build server. Okay, so actually we have that already. I coded this after work yesterday, yes, maybe in 3 or 4 hours, yes. That's why I didn't stream yesterday. I just I finished my work at 4:30, been with my kid and my wife a bit, and then I just realized, yeah, I actually need to do this for myself. Because I started streaming to YouTube and Kick and Twitch at the same time 3 days ago, and now I'm actually missing. I had to find a way. How can I read the chat in the same window from all 3 platforms, right? And that's why I built this. Now I can actually read chat from all platforms at once, right? From Kick, YouTube, and Twitch, I can read it in the same window, right? So that's what I built past day, right? And you guys can now contribute to it if you want. I'm just now cleaning up some stuff so you guys know how to run it and stuff like that. Shit. So that still works. Okay, is nodemon actually working? Let's just go and put a console log or something, right? I don't think it is actually working, no. We actually don't have any tests, so this is useless. Execute ts project config, no. No, this is wrong. I don't know. I don't think that I need any more features. I think we can just style it a bit better now and stuff. I think I can save the messages. I can emphasize them, right? So I think from the feature perspective, I have all I want, right? I wanted to do this, right? I can emphasize. So now when I'm talking to you, you guys ask me something, I can just click on. I can actually full screen it, right? So it looks cooler, and then I can zoom in if I wish, right? And then I can do this. Then if I like this question, I maybe want to save it. I can click save, right? And then it stores it to my local computer. So this is what I kind of wanted, right? And then of course the core feature, I needed to aggregate all chats into one place, and I didn't want to pay for this Restream or some other tool because it's ridiculous. I'm not gonna pay $20 a month for just to read the chat, right? It's crazy. Yeah, so that's what it is. That's how it is. So I think this guy messed up a bit. We don't actually want to do this. Well, we actually want to do this. We don't want to run this exec at all. Yeah, this is super strange. I don't think this is correct at all, actually. But why do I need this? It's a bit strange. Why would I even need this? That's a bit awkward. And also, I know the file, so it's server ts. Sako, my friend, good evening. Yeah, that's a bit strange. Yes, of course we can't do that. So let's see what this guy said, right? Good evening, my friend. How are you? Yeah, but this is not. So this is not correct, right? So those are the actual. I think this. The file server. I have a typo somewhere. Yeah, that's where I have the type. Okay, so I think this should be fine. And yeah, it's not index, it's server. Where is the index? Yeah. So it's server.js, and this should be fine now. Try that again, right? Yeah, now the question is actually nodemon working when we save? Don't think so. Yeah, that's a bit awkward. Server dev. Am I running the right thing? I am, right? Yeah. Okay, so now it seems to be working. Wait. Yeah, I think it is. Okay, good. That's great. Okay, and then the last thing I want to do when it comes to tooling, and this is just because of you guys, I think, is if we go back to the to-do, right, over here. So this is actually something, let's just say here, low, right? Use concurrently. So let's use concurrently, right? So what do we have to run when you want to develop this? We have to run, so you have to build the extension so we can do this separately. But then you need to run the actual, so you need to run the client, right? When making HTTP requests to API, and I need to put information on body, does the parameters of body need to be simple types like strings, or can be complex types like class? You cannot send classes. Classes are not types of such kind, Max, right? A class is an abstract type, right? It's a boilerplate for objects, right? So class as such is a different type of type, right? So no, you cannot do that. No. You could stringify some code and stuff like that, but then that would no longer be class. So you can only send objects. You can send primitive and reference values, right? But you don't generally send class. You don't send code to anywhere, right? Let's save this question. Right? So you don't generally do that. You don't want to send that. Yeah. Give me 1 second here. 1 moment. Yes. Okay. So that's great, right? But it's a good question. But yeah, you don't do that generally. No. So what did I want to do? So yeah. So essentially, let's go to the README. I just want to make sure that you guys can run this. So what do we do first? So setup npm install, npm build to Chrome the extension. So basically, what we want to do, we're going to say pm. What was it? Where's the package JSON? It was server dev to run an API in development mode with live reload using Node. To run the chat React app. Okay, so that I think is kind of sufficient, right? And that's beautiful. So server, we're gonna get rid of that, obviously, because that's also get ignored, right? So we're gonna actually delete that. So we've just turned that into TypeScript, right? So let's save this stuff. So let's say add more README and turn server.js into server TS, right? All right, great. Let's go over here. Where was our repo? It's here, right? God blessed. Good evening, buddy. Did I actually push this? Yeah. Here it is. I just pushed it. Okay, good. What else are you guys missing? Chrome extend enable developer mode. Tomorrow I'm going to record a YouTube video for this thing we've built, right? But in simple words, again, we use the Chrome extension part that I built to scrape or to observe the changes in respective chats. We send those messages to our local API, the one that we just turned into TypeScript. Then our little chat React app is polling for those events, right? So you can see now we actually, if I go to my YouTube, where I'm actually also streaming right now, I hope. Live, am I streaming there? Still, I am. So if we actually go there and I send a message, it doesn't seem that there's anyone actually watching there. Probably not, yeah. So if I say hi from YouTube now, right? Actually, I need to pop this up, I think. You can see actually here, hi from YouTube, right? So that was the whole point, right, of this. And then I can also increase it. I can save it locally to a local file, right? And then if we obviously go to this thing, right? If we go into messages, right? JSON, that's our little database for this project, right? So if we go here, you can see here, hi from YouTube, right? I don't timestamp. I mean, we can add that easily. Is it really necessary? I'm not quite sure, right? Oh, very interesting. Let me actually wait. Let's actually read that. Very interesting. I don't know. The new guidelines for simulcast forbid the use of. And who is forbidding this? Twitch? Is Twitch forbidding this? Is that what you're saying? Oh man, they're so desperate. It's crazy. I think that Twitch is genuinely getting desperate. It's a little bit. It's becoming a little bit sad, to be honest with you. They're doing really all they can to just not let creators do things in different places, right? It's pretty sad, right? You do not. But I built this tool, so does this qualify as well as I just built this tool last day, right? I guess this qualifies as such. Jesus Christ. Let's see. They're really desperate. And what is the why can I hear myself? Oh, Mike is here. Yeah, sorry. Hey, Mike. You ensure that quality of Twitch user experience of your simulcast at minimum no less than experience on other platform. Wait a minute. In line with we're now allowing you to. Oh, wait a minute. In line with coming change of term, we are now allowing you to simulcast to on any service. We believe that giving the freedom. So no, this is good. No, is this not good? We believe in giving you freedom to simultaneously stream on other services, but also we want to ensure that the Twitch user experience is not compromised. To that end, the following guidelines have been established to ensure that the quality of Twitch user experience of simulcast. Actually, no, this doesn't apply to us. This doesn't apply to us. Keep in mind, we are good. So this tool that I've built does not apply to this. You know what? Why? Because this tool is primarily for me, not for you. You guys are not going to be looking at this tool. That's the difference. So this tool that I just built is for me to read chat on a different screen that's coming from you guys. So this is not I'm not going to redirect you to this or make you read this. So this is aggregating. So I'm not, I mean, I get what they're saying. So this is actually good news. So actually now we can actually freely stream to other services.
No, so this doesn't apply to us. No. Yeah, exactly. I mean, again, this is not the so I get what they're saying. So if I built this service and then I deployed it online and then I sent you guys the link and I told you, hey guys, go and interact with me, interface with me through this chat instead of, you know, Twitch chat, then that would not be allowed. But that's not what this is for. This thing is for me, right? Because now I don't want to be going through YouTube chat, and you get what I mean. So you can see Mike here is now talking to YouTube. In order for me to read what Mike said, I would have to go now here and read what Mike said. Then I would have to switch to Twitch. So this is just for me, right? So I don't think that this breaks the guidelines, because I'm not, you guys are still reading the chat on Twitch. You're not reading it on a third-party service, right? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Can I use third-party tools that combine activity from other platforms or services just as a chat? Yes, you're free to use tools that are for your personal use. There we go. So I am right. The prohibition in third-party tools only applies to content presented to viewers either on or off Twitch. Exactly, right? So this is good, right? This is great. So this actually, this is first time for streaming on Twitch for a year that I actually heard good news, because now I don't have to, because I started streaming to YouTube and Kick 3 days ago. And my experience since 3 days ago was like, man, do I have to now read chat on 3 different platforms? And then yesterday after work, I literally built this tool. I deployed it. Now you guys can actually, it's open source. But now I find out that I'm actually allowed to stream to multiple services, because I wasn't allowed, but I didn't care, right? It doesn't, I cannot type in this chat. I can only read. This is not a chat service for me. I still have to use Twitch chat to send you messages. I can only read this, right? So that's the difference, right? So I think we're good. I think we're good, honestly. I think we're good. You're good. Good evening, everybody. But that's good. That's great, guys. That's super. That's super. Finally, one positive thing I've heard from Twitch. Because I was already, you saw me, I already started laughing, because they are getting quite desperate. And it's not good for them. Van den Nobel, I built this whole tool in 3.5 hours yesterday, right? So don't expect from it to be perfect by no means, right? I built this yesterday after work, and you can see it here, right? So of course it's not perfect yet, and it doesn't have, I literally built this for myself. I don't actually care if anyone is going to use it. I built this, play one game. Yeah, that's a normal number. Yeah, who cares? Who cares? So keep in mind, I built this tool for myself, and if anyone else wants to use it, that's up to them, right? So, but I'm gonna use it for sure, because it's very annoying to read 3 different chats, right? So that's how it is. Okay, is there anything else now that I want to do here? Yeah. Let me actually just update some more README here, right? Because in order for the Chrome extension to work, you have to open up all the respective platform chats, either as new tabs or windows. This is because, for example, when YouTube chat is embedded as part of the
YouTube experience, it's embedded as an iframe, and Chrome content injection script can only access the parent page and not the iframe itself. So in simpler words, when you run the API, when you install the Chrome extension, Chat Fusion, and once you run the API and the client, you have to open the chat of the platforms you are streaming to in a new tab or a window. So the Chrome extension content script can find, query, traverse the DOM of those chats and find the respectful elements from which we will scrape the actual data. All right, let's go to ChatGPT and say improve. Grammar proof and improve for my README file. Okay, you can. Great. Okay, doesn't matter. We're not gonna go there. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we could, but this is a service worker, right? This is something very different, right? We're not using a service worker there, right? So this is slightly different, right? It doesn't really matter, right? So let's just do this. Thank you very much, everybody, for the follows and all of that crap. What is this song? Give me 1 second. Let me just commit this. This is Nick Johnson. It's a Van den Noble. I literally built this because I wanted to share it with you guys. So please be my guest. Absolutely, all of you. If you have the time and will, and you want to play with this, that's why I'm spending those last few minutes of today's stream, just to make sure you guys know how to run this, right? And tomorrow I'm going to record a little YouTube video about this as well. Please, thank you very much. More power to that. It's a very simple thing. It's a very clever thing. And I'm happy that it worked out the way that I imagined. Just one detail, but you will be able... Rust, right? That's a good one. So just one detail, just so you guys know. So you guys might wonder, okay, why the API, right? So why did we need the API here, right? So why do we need to do this, right? Why did I do it like this, right? So why did I call my API from here
And why didn't I, for example, just use the background script or a pop-up inside of the Chrome extension? So you might wonder, why didn't I just have a window like this one where I showed all these events? And I did initially, right? So my initial idea with this was this. I'm going to just have a Chrome extension. I'm going to send the events from the content script to the pop-up. That also worked. It was great. But my assumption, which was wrong, was this, that I can take the Chrome extension URL and use it as an OBS source. Because one good thing that I didn't show you now is that I can take this and I can put this chat on top of my actual, I can use it as a browser source in my OBS. I can actually show you that in a moment, right? So you can see now, boom, here is the chat in OBS, right? I can actually go and I can make this background transparent, and now you're gonna have a real type of chat that you see in many other places, right? So let me show you. Let me refresh it, refresh cache. Give me 1 second. Did I actually save that or did I not? I think it's on the body, sorry, my bad. Yeah, so if I get rid of this crap from here, right? You can see now, boom. That would probably be breaking the guidelines. So this you don't want to do. But keep in mind, the main reason why we have the API and why I didn't encapsulate this whole thing in a Chrome extension, which I initially did, was because I wanted people who use this to be able to put this stuff on their actual OBS screen. And then this is very powerful because now with some simple CSS, you can modify this live and it's going to update, right? But unfortunately, yeah. So just so you know, it's like, Alex, why do we have a proxy? Why are we sending requests from a Chrome extension to the API? And then why is your client calling that API? This was the reason, right? This is the main reason, just so you know, because it might not be clear. Is like, why do we need an API for this, right? That's why. All right. Limao. Cool. That's it. So yeah, I think I can leave you guys until tomorrow with this. I'm probably gonna go watch something. I worked really. It was a very long week at work. So it's not really a gateway because there's really no limitations, right? We don't have limitations here because we're not using an API. So the whole point, some of you asked me, hey, Alex, so some of you asked me, is like, Alex, why didn't you use the actual API clients to perform these tasks? Like, why didn't you, authorize with Twitch API? Why didn't you authorize with YouTube API, etc., etc.? The reason is very simple. There are two reasons. Number one reason is that I didn't want to deal with any limits, any rate limiting, any API limits, right? Because here there are no limits. What this extension is fundamentally doing, it's reading the native chat's DOM, document object models, or the structures, and it's waiting until the new message comes in. When the new message comes in, our message observer, our mutation observer sees that that's changed, sends an event. From that event, we grab the nodes that we want, we grab the values from them, we unify them into a single interface, which is that iMessage interface, if you remember. Then we send that off to the API. So the beauty here is that no matter which platform you're on, we will always have a unified interface here, right? Which is this interface. So no matter if stuff is coming from Kick or Twitch or YouTube or anywhere else, we want to preserve the same interface. So the chat, this little React app that I built, always, which is really 2 or 3 components thing, right? This thing always gets the same data for the message, right? You can see that the interface here is that same interface, right? So that's really it. It's quite simple, but I think it was pretty clever, and I'm happy with the outcome. And the outcome was what I actually landed to. Now I can read all chats from infinite amount of platforms.
there's many improvements we can make, right? So for example, and this is for you guys if you want to do it to contribute to this. So if we go to the content script, right, you will notice here that our host name is kind of wrong, right, in a way. So let me show you what I mean. So we are saying if the host name is any of this, then do whatever you're doing. The problem with this now is that now I'm using this would work now for every single YouTube chat. So what would be better here is that you said if the host name is twitch.tv/programmer network, right? So we could have some configuration in the env file. So here we could say, you know, Twitch channel, Twitch, I don't know, username, right? And you could say programmer network, right? And you would do the same for other respective platforms. And then we would only subscribe, or we would set up this mutation observer only in places if the host name is full host name, and then the path would be /programmer network, right? So again, this has been built, in 5-6 hours combined so far, so I didn't get to all of that. But there are those tiny things that we could, of course, then create a pop-up window for this Chat Fusion extension. So you can actually pass this configuration through the Chrome extension instead. So we could make it configurable so you don't need to do it through code, right? But is there value in that? Probably not, because right now, this can only really be used by developers anyway. So if you want to do that configuration, we might just as well create a config file somewhere, or just use the CNV and say, you know, Twitch, as I said, I can't type Twitch username, you know, whatever, and then kick, etc., etc., etc. So there's those small modifications we can make. But again, I don't care, right? I just wanted to build this, and I did, and I'm going to be using this from today until this stream exists. And as the requirements grow by myself, you know, right now I can save your questions, right? So boom. So this is something I really wanted to do, because sometimes I want to do a YouTube video and like, what should I talk about, right? Okay, now I can talk about something that Mimus said, right? Blah blah blah. So that's how I'm going to do it for me. But if someone ends up using this extension for themselves, maybe they will find some use cases where they want some specific features, right? I wanted to be able to emphasize a message from you guys. So when you're asking me questions, instead of me zooming in, copy pasting it into Notepad, now I can just click here and I can say, okay, Sako K asked, what could you do is have AP blah blah blah, right? And I can then also save it, right? So super simple project, one-day project, right? But very useful, right? Very useful in my opinion. Yeah. Auto scroll. And this auto scroll that I added is a bit annoying, I must admit, especially now when you emphasize the question, right? And then when you kind of leave that focus state, you know, it then... C1, thank you very much, buddy. It's just a couple of hours project, and I hope to see some PRs and people doing something. And if you guys have a minute, don't forget to give it a star. If you care, if you don't give it a star, please. But yeah, so this is the fundamental, I've said the fundamental things, and then if you guys want to do something with it, please be my guest. Give me 1 second. Let me do one thing. There we go. There we go. Let me turn on the lights so the stream looks cooler, because everybody knows if you have RGB, you're like 10x developer instantly. There we go. My competence suddenly grew. My competence suddenly grew in 2 seconds just by turning those lights on. It's crazy, isn't it? For sure, Leo. I mean, definitely, I'm gonna find the ways to use it, and that's what it is. Okay, do we have anyone with the 100x engineer? Like, look at this now. Like, everybody clearly knows that the RGB is the actual thing that increases your intelligence. Look at this. Wow. Vita style mode is actually, let me show you. Give me 1 second. So Vita style mode is, so Vita style mode was supposed to, so you can see how now Van Nobel, when I was developing this, I wanted to use the live messages from Twitch and YouTube. So I wanted to make the stream a bit interactive. So when you type something, you can see it in my browser. But if you're streaming, like if you're not streaming, if you're building this off stream and you if you wanted to you know, just use dummy data, this is what I made it for. Did I actually not use it anywhere? Are you kidding me? Yeah, that's a mistake, because so the idea with this thing, Noble, is that in this hook that I wrote, Byte. So it was supposed to, so this hook was supposed to return dummy messages, Noble. It seems that I actually didn't commit this, or I maybe messed it up. Kakva. But this use message listener was supposed to, if this variable is set to true, this was not supposed to fetch anything. It was supposed to just return a static list of messages. So when you're if you just want to build a chat, if you just want to build that box, style it and stuff. So I don't know how I actually remove that, but I should add that back, right? I'm just not gonna do it now. I'm too lazy. I need to go. So that's what it was for. So right now, just ignore it, because it doesn't seem it's doing actually anything at all. Yes, I think you can remove it from now. Absolutely. Yes. Thank you, man. Thank you. Okay, good. How long did I stream? Probably more than I usually do. Is it 2 or 3 hours? How long did I stream? Mike, my pleasure, Mike. Thank you for watching, man. How long am I streaming? Can anyone tell me that? How can I? 3 hours. Jesus Christ, that's too long for me. 2.5, 250. Got it. Okay, guys. Well, that was an interesting stream. We didn't programmer network today. We did a bit of different stuff. We built this little service, and I think it was exactly. I think it was fun. I really enjoyed it, and I hope you guys did as well. And yeah, if there's no more statements, questions, insults, or anything like that, I'm gonna go watch some TV. And I wish you guys all the best. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Sleep well, be well, and yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out, guys. Bye-bye. All the best. Cheers.